Hi. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Miss Muniz. Hello. Welcome to the room. My name is Wahima. As always, we're going to wait till we get 100 people in the room to truly get started with that recap. I hope you guys are well. Oh, you know what? I just put powder on my nose to get away some of that sweat because I'm sweating. And now I have a powdery nose. I didn't blend it. All right. Anyways, hello. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Iman, thank you so much for joining. Looking beautiful as always. Love from Trinidad. Oh, hello. Welcome. Welcome. Also, tell me where you're from. I know we'll have Japan, we'll have Norway, we'll have the Aussies in the house, but you guys have to tell me where you're at, okay? To get away some of that sweat because I'm sweating. Okay, I just muted myself because I was busy doing YouTuber stuff. You know, I was like cross promoting on Instagram. All right, so let's see who's in the house. Lynn J, hi girl. Thank you for coming. Connie, hello, Vancouver, Canada. Happy Canada Day. Is it Canada Day, Mickey? Hello. This is our Norway friend. Hello. A Ford, thank you so much. Hola, hola. Tanya Fowler. Hey, girl, hey. All right. Yeah. LA, hello. April T, how are you? Is this Trinidad's? April T, do we have two Trinidadians in here? Hetty, hello. London, we've got London Town. I'm going to shout you guys all out on Instagram. Well, not your names if you don't want me to, but I'm going to do it. Okay, so we've got London in the house. We have got Norway in the house, as I said. We've got Canada in the house. We've got Trinidad in the house. We've got an American living in Jamaica in the house. We have who? Annie, where are you? Wow, you have an international audience. I do have an international audience. North Carolina, NYC, Jamaica. Kelly, I haven't started yet. Happy Canada Day. It's not Canada Day. Okay, well, I don't know. Mickey said it was Canada Day. So why are people always trying to come for people on the internet? Okay, so we've got London in the house. We have got Okay, I'm gonna redo that. We have 71 people in the room, so we're just killing time until we get people. So I'm gonna redo my Instagram-y thing. Okay. So we've got Canada in the house. We've got Jamaica in the house. We've got Trinidad in the house. We've got Greece in the house. Oh no, she's on vacation in Greece and she came to watch my live. So thank you so much. We've got Puerto Rico in the house. We've got North Carolina. We've got NYC. We've got Georgia. We've got Norway. We've got Bermuda. We've got Guyana. Okay, the Caribbean is coming through. I feel it. I feel the love. Do we have anybody from the continent? We've got West Coast Canada and we've got East Coast Canada. That's really important. We need both sides of Canada. What about the middle? Where are the people from Alberta? So we've got Canada in the house. We've got Jamaica in the house. We've got okay. Hi everyone. No, it's me. I took off my sound so that I could do it. You know, when you're doing like YouTube, when you're doing Instagram stuff, like it just repeats it over and over again until you do things. So that's why I haven't. Hetty, that's so great. Detroit, Inglewood, California, or Inglewood, like Illinois. Atlanta, Kind of International, Sarajevo. Oh wait, Sarah. Uh-oh. I don't know where that is. I am sure. I don't even know. Who am I? Sarajevo. I've heard of that. Why don't I know where that is off the top of my head? Sarajevo. Oh, yes. This is the capital of Bosnia. Yes. Bosnia. I love it. Bosnia? Nicole, that is great. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me from Bosnia. Detroit. What else? Hi. San Antonio, Tejas. Hello. Thank you. Okay, we've got 95 people in the room. I need 5 more people to come in this room so I can get this live started. We got to talk about Bilal because I have so many things to say. You know what I'm saying? I have so many things to say and I need everybody to like chime in and tell me what I should think about this man. Inland Empire. Same. Same. Renee says, I think Guillermo and Kara are probably the most normal couple with everyday couple disagreements. Yeah, and that's why it makes them not interesting. I mean, but you know, I'm always looking for a couple to not talk about, right? Because it just is so many couples. All right, I'm gonna put the link in here one more time. And then I'm done with Instagram. The link isn't pasting. Pourquoi? When it comes. Ah, 104 people in the room. Here we go. Take this off for that. Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to my recap of 90 Day Fiancé, Season 9, Episode 6. I don't know the title, but there was no Kobe and Emily in this episode, and so our heart and our spirit got a little break. But they did bring back Jabri and Miona, and now we got problems. You know what I'm saying? Problems. If you guys would like to join this live to give your 2 cents, please email me at justcallmewa@gmail.com, and I will send you the link. You do not have to put yourself on camera, but I will need your audio. So I'm going to take it down, and then you can come in as you will. But the earlier, the better. That way you can talk about the people we've already spoken about, and we don't have to have a super long live. Alrighty, so for those of you guys who are watching this on a replay, yeah. For those of you who are hashtag replay game, replay. Yeah. For those of you who are hashtag replay game, my name is Wah, but I do relationship reality television show commentary, such as Love After Lockup, Married at First Sight, 90 Day Fiancé, maybe Love Off the Grid, perhaps a little Ultimatum, a little Love is Blind here and there. You know what I'm saying? I just like to talk about love, reality shows. So if you are interested, you can give this video a thumbs up and you can share this video on any social media platform that you deem fit. Okay, let's jump right into the episode and let's start with Ari and Bini. You know, back in Ethiopia with my family, I losing my English. So jumping in with these two because they were, oh my God, I didn't even take notes. Oh, I did. Here it is. So we start off with Ari and Bini. They wake up the next day and Bini still has his Ethiopia like headband on. This is the outfit that he flew to the US in. And I just don't quite understand the necessity for this. Now, I understand someone being proud of their heritage. And I understand, I understand, but I don't understand. This person to me is, we know you're a proud Ethiopian. We know that. You don't even wear those clothes when you're filming in Ethiopia. And we've had like 2 or 3 seasons of you filming in Ethiopia. Why did you choose to wear it on the plane? Is it just super comfy? Is it breathable? Is that like bomb ass Ethiopian cotton? So anyways, he woke up with that headband on, as you guys saw. And him and Ari are having a conversation just about, I don't even remember because it's not important. They get into the car is the next time I remember. And he starts talking about how he is a dreamer and he wants to be an MMA fighter. And Ari has done the research and she finds that MMA fighting is not as lucrative as Bini might think. And so she's worried about the finances. She says that she's happy that happy birthday, Aaron. Oh, Aaron, happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Thanks for joining me. Okay, Renee, you have an unpopular opinion. Unpopular opinion. But we're glad. I love unpopular opinions. I love juxtaposed opinions. I love it all. I love it all. Okay. Anyways, so she's like, I feel honored that he has given financial control to me. It makes me feel like he trusts me. But at the end of the day, I'm a little stressed out about the finances. And I said, oh, that makes you feel good? You know what makes me feel good? When a man takes the responsibility of the finances and I don't have to do anything. That's what actually makes me feel good. I don't want to, you tell me, you just give me how much I can spend. And it better be enough. And then I'll live my life. But anywho, so he is just talking about like, oh, we're in America now. Things are going to be great. And she's like, yeah, we're in America now. Things are not great. Like, it's the land of opportunity. How whomever, we don't have any capital. And she's just worried about the fact that in a month they're going to have to take over this apartment, which they really cannot afford. And Bini wasn't supporting her in Ethiopia. So how is she expecting him to support her in the US? And he's just like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. So then she wants to take him around Princeton to show him all of the niceties of Princeton. And so she takes him downtown to some of the fancier areas, tells him all about all the fancy people who live there and how basically they can't afford it. Because he's like, oh, I buy you this house. And she's like, no, babe, you're never going to be able to afford this house. And then he's like, so then why are we here? If we can't afford anything that's around us, why are we here? And I'm like, because that's where her family is. Like, that's why you're there, not because you guys can like spread roots here. Like, no, no, no. So then she's like, okay, my parents are watching the baby, and now I'm just going to take you to New York City. Another mistake. She takes this man to New York City, tries to explain to him that the subway goes under the water. And he's like, what? We're under the water now? She's like, no, babe, the sun is out. And he's like, oh, that's what I'm saying. Haha. So they get to New York City, and he is just feeling the vibe of New York City. He says it looks like just in the movies, and he's excited. And he's like, we should live here. And she's like, no, babe, we can't live here because there's just so much that we have to get done. There's a lot riding on this. And he's like, okay, just calm down. Okay, just calm down. Don't ruin my day. And she's like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is, you just don't get it. And I said, I feel for her in that moment. I feel for you. Like, he doesn't get it. And many a foreigner, they just don't get it. And I've said this over and over again, that they just think of, oh, I come here and you work really hard and you're able to do things. Now, yes, that is true to a certain extent. It's more true 30 years ago than it is now. It's more true 20 years ago than it is now. And they do have, the notoriety of 90 Day Fiancé to make money off of. I'm pretty sure they get money from Cameo. And so he's like, we should be able to do this. And she's thinking it's not sustainable. We're not going to have this 90 Day Fiancé money forever. And then you want to become an MMA fighter with nothing on the back, like nothing backing you up. And that's one of the harder things about being the kind of performer or artist that uses their body. Because at some point, your body is going to run out. And you're going to have to start to use this. That's why a lot of people end up becoming teachers or stuff like that. Like, it's a hard thing. So I do feel Ari for this. I think it was foolish for her to stay back to the US with no real plan on how she's going to actually make any money. And I hope her parents are able to help her. And we'll just watch what happens. Jojo Baby says, Ari seems to like to embarrass him. This man had 4 jobs when she moved to Africa. Just be straight with him, like acting like he should already know everything. Hi, Zelle. How are you? I guess I just feel like she probably has, and he just doesn't get it. But that's just me. And I would be mad if somebody kept telling me to calm down too. My dad does this thing, and Bilal does it too. It's like this thing where like, sometimes you're telling somebody something about how you're feeling or what your situation was, and they then interpreted it or like try to tell you that you're the problem, and maybe if you had done something differently. And in that moment, you're not necessarily looking for advice. You're just looking for sympathy and understanding. And Benny doesn't want to talk about money. He doesn't want her to get upset. And he ends up telling her, don't ruin my day, which is completely selfish. So, I mean, I just think, they're not destined for greatness, unfortunately. So she says, maybe we shouldn't be married. And I said, yeah, I think we all think that. I think we all agree that you guys should not be married. So let's move on. Next couple that we are going to talk about is, who else was boring? Let's just talk about Eva Mohamed real quick. You know what? This was problematic for me because it feels as though these two have not had a comprehensive conversation about expected behaviors. She expects him to stay home and take care of Theron until he can get a job and do whatever his skill set allows him to do. And he expects her to abide by rules that do not pertain to her. I don't think that it is fair. Okay, let me just tell you the situation. So he's unable to get the bidet working, and she figures I'll call a plumber. She calls a plumber in. Theron and Mohamed are sitting in the living room, like watching like Dance Dance Play Party or whatever that game is. The carpet needs to be vacuumed, but that's neither here nor there. That's just me. And she takes the plumber into the bathroom and starts and tells him like, "Oh, this is the bidet. Can you please hook the bidet up?" And so he goes to do so. And I don't know, Muhammad, in all the fluster of the cameras being there, like doesn't hear or notice that the plumber has come into the house. So he gets up and goes into the bathroom after a few minutes and he's like, "What are you doing here? Oh." And she's like, "Oh, this is the plumber, babe. Yeah, like he's just here to put in the bidet." And she's really excited. And he's just like, "No, what are you doing? You can't be alone here with him. Why do you not call me? So it's not right in my religion." And she's looking at him like, "So wait, what was I supposed to do? I was supposed to call you? I can't be in here with him. He's just the plumber." And he's like, in his confessional, he says, "You never know the intentions of this man. And so he needs to be there to protect or whatever." And then this is where me as a feminist pops up to say that's one of the rules or like cadences or policies or whatever in his religion that doesn't make any sense. We're not in medieval times. Like it makes sense to me in a world where the law is only as far as the eye can see, where you would need to stop a man and a woman from being in the same space alone in order to protect the woman. Like I could see that being a thing in like biblical times in like the, BC. But in the modern era, we just don't have this thing of like where an unwed woman shouldn't be in the same room as like it's just too antiquated for me. And at this point, because of its antiquity, it just feels limiting. And it doesn't seem like it serves any actual purpose. Unless you're living in a space where there's barbarians. And you really can't trust men because if they see hair or neck or I don't know, the shape of a woman, they won't be able to control themselves and they'll just go bananas on her. Like if that's the environment that you live in, then okay. But here, she's safe being in here with a plumber, 5 producers, and you and the son. Like she's safe. And so for me, I'm just like, if you are not asking her to convert to Islam, which it seems from this conversation that he is not asking her to do, then I don't think that it is fair for him to put certain Islamic or his version of Islamic culture onto her. Now, asking her to dress more modestly, I can understand that. Maybe just him being as a man being uncomfortable, the same way I feel like Kobe asking Emily to, put the tit away in front of her daddy. Like, I understand somebody being uncomfortable. But just to follow a rule simply because that's the rule without thinking about how it could affect your household or how it could affect the person who did not sign up to be in your religion is silly. And he then says to her, she's like, "Well, what am I supposed to do? Make a list of all the things? There's a lot of rules." And he's like, "Yeah, maybe you should. Maybe you should make a list." What? 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 Because here's my baseline. My baseline is Zied, "I love you so much," and Rebecca. And it does not seem that Zied is trying to make Rebecca do these things. Like, yes, when they were in Tunisia and she had her arms slash titties out, I could see him asking her to put that away. But in the States, when she gave you the opportunity to put the bidet together and you couldn't do it, if you're really that concerned about people men going in and out of your house, maybe you should stand post at the door. If you know the plumber is coming, you should stand post at the door waiting for the plumber to get there. I don't know why you thought the plumber would like attack her with 5 cameramen and and you and Theron in the house. But if that was the case, this was the wrong time to bring it up, and it was just wildly inappropriate. It was just like at that point, like I can't be on Muhammad's side because I also don't identify Muhammad as like a protector or a man. Like to me, Muhammad is just like a little ass kid, a little ass boy, and like I'm like, no, you don't get to say that I can't be in a room with another male when I'm paying for everything. And what are you doing? Oh, yeah, maybe, it would not make me comfortable. Like, I just don't understand why he isn't more open minded. Now, she then starts to say, well, this is how things are in the US, as though there are not people in the US who live this way, right? I don't know, like, there are people in the US, there are cultures, there are religions, there are creeds in the US that limit the movement of women. And so for her to make it seem like there aren't Muslims here, or there aren't fundamental Christians here, or there aren't sects and groups of people who would abide by certain like that kind of rule, is silly. And I don't like that when Americans sometimes like it's the same thing with Emily and her parents, making it seem like every woman in America is just out here pumping and teta out for everyone to see, and it's normal, and you're attacking this person. Like, no, you should acknowledge the fact that yes, there are some people who choose to wear jean skirts every day, who go to church with no makeup on, and from here to the toes are covered. And that is normal, and that is fine if you sign up for it and that's what you want. So I don't like this idea that like, well, you're in America now, you need to follow American rules. Like, that's not what it is. What it is that you all have not had a conversation about expectations. And if I were Eve, I personally would feel like, I'm sorry, we had sex on our first date, and we've done a lot of things. We're actually currently living in sin. So until you start to do everything by the book, you are not going to ask me to do anything by the book. And if you do want certain things, then you need to now say them or forever hold your peace. So that's what I have to say about that. And I was annoyed for her, and I understood why she was annoyed, because he was just like, you need to make a list. Yeah, maybe you should. Like, he's like fully judging her, like fully judging her. Like, and it's not going to make me comfortable. You're comfortable in my bed, aren't you? You look real comfortable sitting on my couch. So I'd say you're pretty comfortable. Okay, that's all I got to say about that. Let's keep on with the Islamic culture or religion, and let's move on to Bilal and Shaeeda. All right, so in their episode, he is sitting on his couch on his laptop, relaxing, and she's gotten ready because they're going to Juma, which I've never heard of. Which it looks like he says that it's a Friday celebration, kind of like what did he said it was like the Sabbath or something like that, like it akin to going to church on Sunday. And also they didn't go to a mosque. They went to something else that isn't a mosque. So I was like, oh, I'm learning something new about this particular sect of Islam. So anyways, she gets ready for that, and he's like, oh, I got you a latte. And so she goes and gets the latte, and it's like hovering over the kitchen counter in order to drink it. She's like, can I bring it in the living room? And he's like, yeah, you can drink lattes wherever. And she's like, no, I can't drink lattes wherever. Your OCD is getting a little extra. And he's like, oh no, you can drink the lattes, you just don't spill it and just don't do whatever. And so I was just like, okay, we're starting to see some of that behavior out of him, which was completely expected. Oh, Halima says the masjid and mosque are the same. Oh, okay. And Juma, Friday midday prayers. Hey, so like, yeah, so I was, just learning a lot. I'd never heard of a Friday midday prayer. He went and got his children out of school to do so. But it was nice to see them doing a cultural thing. And so he says to her, and I thought this was really nice of him, here's the one thing that I don't like is being late. It really does bother me. And I said, I understand that, Bilal. I hate being late. I hate it. So I'm often not. And then when I am, it's either because I hate the place that I'm going or is a complete accident out of my control and I'm just not a frivolously late person. And so I appreciated him saying that. He was using his words, he was communicating to her. Then they get into the car, and she has been told by him that she's going to meet his extended family, meaning these are the people that he grew up with. He's going to I called it masha because that's what it sounded like they were saying, the mosques. I'll just say that because I know what that word is. um and she's going to be meeting all of his church, his church people. I'm just going to say church, his like church folk, the people that he has grown up with. His mother still goes there. Like it is his fellowship he's gonna introduce her to. So she's really nervous. Like most of these episodes, we've just seen her be just completely nervous. Also, she's gonna meet Shaeeda, which is his ex-wife. Also, Shaeeda has like a 3-year-old that isn't Bilal's child. And so I was a little like, oh. And so she's really nervous about all of those things. So she tells him in the car, I'm really nervous about meeting your extended family. Like, I want everything to go well. And then he begins to like lecture her. And this is a callback to what I was saying earlier about the lecture. Like, my dad does that too. Like, if I tell him, like, I don't want something, he's going to always tell me, well, you should open your horizons. Like, it'll be something stupid. Like, oh, I don't like bell peppers. Well, you really should think about eating all the vegetables, Wahima. And I'm always like, I'm 40. I have tried most of the vegetables. And if I tell you at 40 that I don't like green peppers, please don't have a lecture with me about why I should eat them. Like, he just can't get out. Every time, any subject that I'm like, oh, this is what I believe. Well, you really should do your research because you need to know this history. No, I just told you that I don't want to. And so I feel like that's what Bilal does to her. Well, you shouldn't be nervous. Or, well, I understand how you're nervous because when I did the same thing in Trinidad. All she wants from him is just to say, like, I hear you, babe. I hear that you're nervous. I'm going to be there right with you. Don't worry about it. I get you're nervous. That is what she wants. She doesn't want to lecture about her being nervous, about how her being nervous is wrong. Right? Am I not right? Twilight Traveler. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You're 40? You look 30. Continue. Let me find all these ones that are people like, you're 40. Oh, I love it. His ex-wife is remarried. I thought that was her boyfriend. Okay. So anyways, that's what she wants and that's what she's not getting. And so she gets upset because he's just been lecturing her this whole time. And so all she wants is from him, okay, I understand. And then, so in order to break the tension or to make her feel better, he decides that he's going to tell her that she has a booger. Now, as an individual stepping outside of this relationship, I could see him using that tactic to ease the stress. But the phrase that he used is you have a booger is annoying. Like, that, don't say that to me in order to get me to calm down. That is not what to say to me, because that's just going to add more anxiety. Do you know how much in this world I don't want to have a booger in my nose? Like, does anybody want to have a booger in their nose? Does anybody want to be told by a stranger, or does anybody want to be told after they have been talking to several people up in their face, hey, you've got a booger? So this whole time you've like had a booger in your nose. Like, that is not something to ease the tension. That is only going to cause more stress. Not only is it going to cause more stress, if I wasn't even aware that my nose had any action happening in it, and then all of a sudden you tell me that I have action in my nose, it's just going to take it up a notch. That would be like him saying, you know what you need to worry about is your bad breath. Ha 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 ha. I just wanted to make you feel better by telling you your breath stinks. Like, the boogers, stank, breath, something on your food, on your teeth, lipstick in your teeth. Like, None of those saying any of those things is not going to make me feel comfortable. So she gets upset at that, which I would. So I would get upset, but I don't know that I would react the way she did. And this is where I now have to be on his side because she pops him in the back of the head. Now, it wasn't hard, but I don't think that you should hit anybody, especially like in the cranium. Like if she was going to do that to him, then she needed to like maybe do the elbow as she talked about, maybe give him a little push, but to hit somebody upside the head, I don't care what culture you're in. I don't care if that is your cultural baseline, which I that's fine if it is, which I don't believe that it is for her. Um as soon as he said he didn't like it, that was her turn to pivot and she didn't pivot. She did not pivot. And she says like, "Oh, you want to joke around by putting me in a house that isn't the house I'm going to stay in. You want to joke around by telling me that I have a booger. You want to joke around by telling me that only God is going to know when we're going to have kids. But when I pop you upside the head as a playful thing, you're upset." And I'm like, "No, no, Shaeeda, you popped him 3 times, twice after he told you to stop." Now, him pulling over to the side of the road, he didn't actually make her get out of the car. He sit there with her until they had the conversation. And let me tell you, I wasn't mad at him. I wasn't mad at him. Okay, Kamisha, we've got 3 Trinidadians in the house. We got 3 Trinis here. So Kamisha, tell me, is that a thing that y'all just be popping each other upside the head? It's a Caribbean thing. Ha! As a half Belizean, I have never had anybody, I've never seen anyone hit anybody upside the head. It's cultural. I think Shaeeda thought he'd eventually laugh. That's why she kept going, not malicious. I'm not saying that it was, but it's the same concept, right? Like saying a booger is annoying, and I would have been annoyed by it. And she, I, I still think she was, regardless of his culture or not. The moment he said, "Please don't do that," and she did it again, I just have to. I have to be on his side. Bilal can do whatever he wants in terms of jokes, but she can't do nothing. Jamaican here, it's a thing. Okay, okay, okay. All right. Listen. I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna take that back. So maybe it is cultural, but the fact is that someone told you not to hit them, and you did it. You did it again. You did it again. Hell, it's an American thing. It's American thing if you're trying to embarrass me. My aunt playfully pulled my braids as a joke. My red braids as a joke. I do these things to my boyfriend all the time. However, I would have stopped if he said to stop, but he's hypocritical. Goddess says, I think he could have made his boundary clear without being so harsh. Yes, you keep your hands to yourself. However, its mental games are dangerous as her hands. Okay. Huh? A tap? She's Trini. That's what they do. My lines are drawn. Like I don't hit people. I did. You know what it is? I hit somebody in high school, like, and that was a thing. Like the girls always hit the guys, and I had one guy tell me one time, "Stop hitting me. Like, don't hit me. I don't want to be hit." And ever since then, I was like, "Oh, people don't want to be hit," and so I didn't hit. I don't hit anybody now. The closest thing I do is I'll like do this or like do like a little shove, but I will never hit. So, anyways, I was on his side for that, and I hate to say it, I was though. Then he's gonna go extra far and be like, "Are you a violent person?" Now that's where I would have been like, "I gotta go home now. Are you a violent person?" And she kind of doubled down on her situation too. So he then pulls over somewhere. She doesn't know where. Gets out of the car. He doesn't say, "I'm gonna go get the kids." She doesn't know what's going on until he comes back with the kids, right? Then they get to the mosque, and she's feeling rather alone because his tactic is to not talk to her. he says that now that the kids are there, like we have to hold it together because he doesn't want the kids to see the crack in the, porcelain, but he's ignoring her. He doesn't truly introduce her to people. I think maybe one or two people that we see on camera. She is with his mother the most of the time, and then at the end when they meet the ex-wife, it's a very short hello, how are you, and they surprisingly look a lot alike. But she's nervous and she gets through it. I thought her outfit was cute. I love a good onesie suit with a pop blazer. I don't own any blazers because I feel like they never fit my arms the way they fit my body. But I thought it was a really cute outfit, and she was nervous about the situation. But I think they were both wrong. And later on that night, he drops her off because they needed some space, and he takes the kids wherever and comes back 2 hours later. She does her yoga, and I said, listen, I'm gonna be in that yoga studio. I just recently got a membership. I'll be in that yoga studio 3 or 4 times a week if I could get as limber as her. I'm there. Sign me up for them classes, girl. Because I said, okay, all of the things. All of the things. Koku says, how do you just skip the part where he was ready to dump her on the side of the road? Because to me, nothing happened. They pulled over and they were arguing, and then he got back on the highway. And she's like, it's really crazy that you would pull over like this. And he's like, yeah, well, you're going to get out. But she didn't get out. No Uber was called. That part was just like anticlimactic for me. So she starts to cry at some point because of whatever I honestly, I don't remember their conversation. She got ready for the date night, and then he's like, I know that you're ready for the date night, but I don't really want to go right now. I don't feel like it. And so she gets upset and starts to cry, which is completely understandable because this day went left. And it feels like, at least from what we've seen on the camera, they have argued almost every day about a lot of different things. And this is not quite turning out the way that she intended it, especially because of the way he is behaving. And I understand the way she's feeling. I understand it 100%. He's a manipulator, and I don't like him. All right, I feel the same way too. You know what? I was on my walk today, and I was thinking about him, and I thought to myself, Bilal is wanting to be treated like a king when he acts like a jester. And I think that we have this very specific idea of like a woman being submissive to a man. And here's me, I would love to find somebody to be submissive to. But I would need them to be that dominant so that I could feel comfortable enough to be submissive. And I don't know if Bilal is that the right type of dominant in order to feel comfortable to be submissive. I feel like many men are not the right type of dominant for me. For me, there are some women who just need someone to pay all their bills and then they can feel submissive. But for me, I need a very specific show of dominance in order to feel like I can just let go and be submissive. It doesn't come naturally to me. I mean, it does come naturally, but it doesn't come for just because you're a male. Like, absolutely not. So I just think that a lot of times when men are in religions or sects of religion that give them power just simply for being men, that it becomes confusing when they are not the type of man that deserves that behavior. Like, I don't think a woman should be submissive simply because she's a woman, and I don't think a man should be dominant simply because he's a man. But sometimes these roles force people to just be in things that they're not actively prepared for. And the worst is when they're not prepared for it, but they think that they should still get it. And that's what's hard. But anyways, so that's all I got to say about them. Let's move on now to last Miona, because this is exactly why whenever I have conversations with people at work or outside of work, I love to have a third party just bear witness to it, because this is where intention and like, what is that word called when you like, It's like two people enter into a conversation and then two of them exited out with different, they exit out different, like completely not understanding what the other person said. Like, I personally, and I know this is very controversial, I personally did not think that Jabri's mother said anything bad to Miona. I don't think she handled it badly. I think that she handled it very well. And Miona took out of that conversation what she wanted to take out. And Jabri actually hit it on the head. But let's go back. So, uh, in her bedroom, and she is putting on the finishing touches on her makeup, which is just like a bare-faced girl. She really didn't have any makeup on. And Jabri's mother comes in and says, "Oh, hey, like, how's everything going? You know, it looks really clean in here. Like, let me show you how to use the washer and dryer. I don't know if you know how to use it yet." So they get the dirty clothes and they go downstairs, and the mother says, "Okay, you choose the temperature." And Miona's like, "Oh, the washing machines are pretty simple in the US. Like in Serbia, is that what she's from? In Serbia, like you have to actually pick the water temperature." And she's like, mother's like, "I don't even know that I would know what temperature to pick." But anyways, this is how you do it. So they're going through the laundry, and this is how I feel like it's producer led, because for some reason Miona hands Jabri's mother her dirty shirt. Like, why did she hand it to her? Why didn't she just throw it in the washing machine? Like, I don't understand what was going on in that moment. So the mother is just like, "Oh, what is this? Is this a head wrap? Is this a head wrap?" She's like, "No, it's a shirt." And so then that led open to the conversation about the way Miona dresses, right? That was very set up. So basically the mother says, "I've seen some of your pictures on Instagram, and we live in a pretty conservative town. And so I guess I don't mind if you dress the way you want to dress outside of the house. But when you're in the house, I would ask that you would dress a little bit more modest when you're around my husband." That is basically all she said. And Miona says, "Well, it's the 21st century. Why should I have to dress any kind of way?" And I said, you know what? I'm glad that this new generation has that. I'm glad that this new generation of women feel like they can just be out in the world, just nipples hard. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get there. I got myself a bodysuit this weekend, and I'm just hoping that it does enough to hold them up. And like, but it's going to be hard for me because I'm of the generation where, as a woman, your body is a weapon. Your body is dangerous to men. And so you should cover up your body to a certain extent when you're around certain people, especially, men in your family, because you don't want to make them feel uncomfortable or like, have an awkward situation with an uncle you have to punch in the dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I understand where the mother is coming from, because she's also like, I don't want this hot girl having under titty out in front of my husband in my home. I understand it. I understand it. And they are just, this upsets Miona, and she uses it. She weaponizes it later on when she tells Jabri, but we don't see that, okay? We just hear this like relatively decent conversation where an older woman who is allowing a young girl to live in her house is asking her to not wear booty shorts and under booby showing shirts around her husband, which seems fair. It doesn't, to me, like, if you don't have outfits, I guess if you dress like that around your father, then I could see you like truly not understanding what's going on. But if you wouldn't dress that way around your father, just dress like you would if you were at home. No booty shorts. So the next scene we have is mother coming home after walking the dogs, and Jabri wanting to have a conversation with her because he's very upset about this conversation. Jabri, with a game of obviously bad telephone, reiterates to his mother the conversation that she had with Miona and tells her, "Why were you going through Miona's laundry?" That is a completely different situation than what we witnessed. And so then we have a clip of Miona telling Jabri, "Yeah, your mother was looking at my clothes and asked me not to dress certain ways in front of Brian." And Jabri's not upset at the ask. Like, he's pretending to be upset at the ask, but the truth is he's not. He's more upset because he doesn't want Miona to have more reasons to not want to stay in Rapid City. And so he's trying to get his parents on board to make things super easy for him so that he doesn't have to constantly convince Miona to stay in Rapid City. He's putting the pressure on his parents as opposed to just having Miona understand this is where the F they gonna live and she need to be quiet about it. Until she can afford to live outside of Rapid City on her own without him, she's just gonna have to deal with it. And so that's basically what the mother says. It's like, are you mad at me? Or are you mad at the fact that you're having a hard time keeping Miona happy? And so then they launch into some other conversation where Jabri is like, I live a hard, fast life. And if I want to run into a brick wall, just let me run into the brick wall. Just support me. And the mother's like, that don't make no sense. You're my son. You're my only son. And if you're going to run into the brick wall, I'm not going to help you run into it. I'm going to try to slow you down. And so he's like, well, I don't need you to be the therapist right now. I need you to be the mom, which I get. And I love that he said that because I felt like it makes me so happy that Jabri's mother is a therapist, because that is going to mean that Jabri is probably a very good communicator. And I love that. Thank you, Marsha. I love it so much. What did Beastmaster say? People are agreeing with Beastmaster. What do you think? It's the implication that she's going to try to steal her husband. That's why Jabri's mom is wrong. Huh. You guys, I'm just taking this in. I'm not going to argue with you. I do have an argument to give back, but I'm just going to take this in because I tell you, again, I'm from a different generation. So I don't know that I'm right. I don't know that my way of thinking is correct. I guess I just really feel like it can make somebody uncomfortable. And I feel like if you're going to allow someone to live in your house, they shouldn't do things to make you feel uncomfortable. I don't know if she's like, you're going to steal my man. I don't think he's going to like cheat or attack me or anything like that. I guess it's just like, it's just unnecessary, it feels to me. But I'm an old generation, so I don't know. I think the conversation needed to be between Jabri and Miona. His mom could have told Jabri, and then he could have. Oh no, she did. She did tell Jabri, and Jabri kept just telling her, "Oh no, that's just a persona," and the mother's just kind of worried about it. Yeah, mom's house, her rules. I think it's just a respect thing. I'm Miona's generation. We understand respect and basic level of modesty. I guess that is just what I'm saying. Like, it's just, I agree with you fully. Thank you. Thank you, BB. At the end of the day, it's her house. It's like she said, don't wear shoes in the house. Everybody would be okay with that. What's the difference? Okay. Yep. I agree with that. Nickel Baby says, well, I'm young and I wouldn't dress that way in front of my in-laws, especially if I live with them. Cleopatra says, Cleopatra? Yeah. I do not agree with that, Mom. Okay. Yeah. So I think, we're just at this place where it's a difference of opinion. But like we've all been saying, it's her house, it's her rules. And so I thought that the conversation between Jabri and his mother was really good, because at some point she was like, and I said, okay. Jabri said something and she said, Jabri. Tell us about it. Tell us about it. I made the live. I watched reaction first to judge if the episode is worth my time. Last week's episode is not worth your time. This week, it might be. Okay. Now, Jabri's mother is like, I don't know if we can trust Miona, because she did not communicate with me that she felt that conversation was inappropriate or wrong in any way. And so now it just feels like she's being fake. And I was agreeing with the mother on that. Like, say it with your chest. Don't run back to tell Jabri and then expect Jabri to handle it. Or if you did want to tell Jabri, you could be like, hey, this is what your mother said to me. This is how I'm feeling. Do you think it's appropriate if I have a conversation with her about it? Or like, what do you want to do? Like, what's the best course of action? Because I don't want to argue with her in her house. I just feel like I should not be told what I can wear. And I mean, again, that's a little dramatic to me because she's not being. I mean, it's not like, oh, don't wear. Yeah, I guess she's telling her what to wear. She's like, you wear what you want in the streets. When you in this house, you gonna cover them cheeks up. And I said, I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it. All right, I think that is in. That's the end of it, right? I mean, there's Kara and whatever, but like, who cares about them? I'm not gonna talk about them. So, did anybody email me to join? Oh, I got a Venmo. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you so much. Thank you for the Venmo. If you guys would like to donate, you could do so down here. Drop your girl a tip. If you had a good time, let me know. Miona can only blame Jabri. That's true. Have a safe word, Wah. This is why there's no way I would move in with my mom and with my man and his parents. Oh no, Thais. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, because I didn't take notes about them at all. Yo, I tell you what I want, what I really, really want. That's what happened. I said yo, and then it went off on a tangent. All right, let's talk about these two because this is actually a really good little segment. So, Thais and Patrick get home and they go boom boom in the shower, and they wake up the next day and probably go boom boom some more. And John is just there. I don't know. John is going through it, y'all. Okay? John is going through it. There's a lot of like familial backstory that we only understood the tip of the iceberg for. But they get up in the morning and Patrick goes to make breakfast for Thais. And he ends up having to make breakfast, or makes breakfast for Patrick too, who is up drinking. And that's not his first drink, y'all. By the time Patrick goes to make steaks, which he decides goes well with eggs, which a lot of Americans love steak and eggs. I've never actually had it. He's fully MC hammered. You know what I'm saying? Like he is fully. I'm making the steak. It's for the family. We're fucking family. We're fucking family. To have a drink in the morning. I'm the only person that lives here. You're not the only person that lives here. It's wicked hot. I mean. What does he say? Did you see the sexual tension between Thais and Patrick? I mean, I didn't see it, but I know it's there. So, anyways, Thais kind of gets frustrated and makes some remarks about John to Patrick in Portuguese, and John starts to pick up what she's putting down. And there's some jokes about the meat being on the ground, and Thais is a little annoyed that Patrick has to make dinner for his breakfast for his brother. She just came out shooting in the morning. She was annoyed that he was there and that she would have to put on some shorts. I said, Mama went from booty shorts to booty shorts. She's like, is John out there? Meanwhile, she's in full on booty shorts in front of the cameraman. And then she's like, oh, well, John's here. I have to cover up. She puts on more booty shorts. It was so weird. She just puts on more booty shorts. I said, girl, you could have came out with them shorts. You're still like. So he picks the steak up off the ground and eats it, I think. I was doing something as I was watching this. I was like in and out of making food. And so he was drunk, y'all. Okay? He was drunk. As Beastmaster says, they have a bad codependency relationship. They seriously need therapy, 100%. He tried to flip the steak and he dropped it. I don't know how. John looks like an actor that has lived a terrible things when he was a kid. I mean, I was really shocked. I was shocked at his behavior because I thought maybe producers were just like catching him at drunk times and then just editing that in to make him seem like the drunk wayward brother. But he was good and sauced and in the morning, and it was a little unfortunate to see. And Patrick is just trying to kind of hold it together to make it seem like this is normal and this is okay, and he still loves his brother, to be supportive of both parties. But yeah, that was rough. So then Patrick tells Thais to be patient with John, and that John is her family too, And so he wants to kind of build this unit with them. So he takes them all mini golfing. And by then it's nighttime. And John is still drunk. I mean, he's like white boy wasted with like red rimmed eyes. Still drunk. He has been drinking the whole day, like a college student drunk. And then still agreeing to talk to producers. So his confessionals are like, yeah, we're a family. I love Patrick. God. He's like the mouse in Dumbo. Dumbo! Yeah. Like, I can only imagine how Patrick is feeling. There's a whole camera crew of people watching your brother just day drink. Morning drink, afternoon drink, and night drink. And it's all on TV. So they're playing mini golf and they're having a good time seemingly. And she's doing really well at the game. And so at some point she's just like, I already won, I'm leaving. And so then there's a conversation between John and Patrick. And it is so heartbreaking because Patrick says, I cannot let go of my brother. If you have been through the things that we've been through, then you would understand too. And I said, you know what it is, what we're watching is we're watching an older brother who had to watch his mother battle with mental health issues and addiction, who feels like he didn't probably protect his mother, he didn't protect the family, he didn't protect his little brother. And now this is an opportunity for him and his little brother to kind of bond over their collective trauma and their collective like life kind of failures, right? Because Patrick was a professional lifter and he lost all of that. John, I don't know where his life has taken him, but Patrick is probably helping him like, hey, get out of Wicked Hat, Boston or Massachusetts or wherever they're from and come here to Texas. I'll give you a job. I'll help you out. But there's only so much Patrick can do. Patrick can't solve his brother's alcoholism. He can't do any of that. But he's also not going to kick his brother out. And that is where I was like, oh, Shannon Van, hey girl, hey. If you guys are at all interested in the Bravo Real Housewives, those blubbity bloops, Shannon Van, does really, really fun recaps of it. She has a YouTube channel. She has an Instagram. Go on ahead and drop your Instagram, Shannon Van. And Shan, are you gonna do Real Housewives of Dubai? I'm not gonna watch it, but I heard that a lot of people are into it. So it was just really hard. Summer Dragonfly, hello. It was just really kind of hard to watch because I felt bad I felt that we were watching something that we shouldn't necessarily have watched, and it wasn't fun. So yeah, tell me what y'all think. Did y'all get that? Did y'all like start to feel bad for John and Patrick? Like to see that they were just kind of working through some, some trauma. And Thais is never going to truly understand that. And I hope she does eventually, right? But I mean, as a foreigner coming into the US, she really doesn't quite understand like all that they have gone through and how much Patrick feels like they got to take care of each other. Trauma bonding at its worst. I only do what shows give us comedic materials or substance to discuss. Oh, okay. But check her out. Check out Shannon Van, guys. She's our like reality Vancouver Real Housewives of Blibbity Blub plug. I feel like Patrick's brother took some beatings for him. Yeah. Or he was so busy dealing with the trauma that he didn't pay attention to his little brother, I hope Patrick will be able to explain their family trauma, and I hope that she has some empathy. I hope so too. John is the one that has suffered. I think, well, you all suffer. All the children of somebody who's addicted to drugs suffer. Some suffer in different ways than others, and I think if you would compare them, you could say some suffer more, but to the individual person, it's really hard to tell someone you didn't suffer as much as me because suffering is suffering. this season is dark. I'm with you. Where is Gino and his dad sandals? Woo, that season, it was heavy. That was a heavy moment. That was a heavy moment seeing those two cry on camera. But I hope that it only goes up from here. I hope that we don't have any more like odd John shenanigans. I don't want to not be on his side. I want to support him and his time on the show. I want to be patient with him, and I don't want to talk too much ish about him. But Bilal, I'm waiting to talk ish about Bilal next week. I'm waiting for that. All right, you guys. So that is the end of this recap. Candace, oh my gosh, thank you so much for the Cash App. I appreciate it. Thank you, Candace and Amanda. So I said your name annoying, I'm sorry. Thank you, Candace, for tips. I appreciate it. And for those of you guys who are hashtag replay game, if you guys would like to give me a tip and you're watching this on a Wednesday, do it. If you would like to give me a tip and you're watching this on a Friday, do it. I still accept it. I still accept it. I still accept it. He's giving me Donnie Wahlberg. He's giving me every Wahlberg. He's giving me all of the Wahlbergs, and he's also giving me, what's the Family guy? Seth MacFarlane. Like, he's like, Seth MacFarlane could do his voice 100%. Ooh, Jessica, it's not fair to ask all of that from Thais. It's not fair to ask her to be understanding and open about her partner's past and the brother's drama. Huh. Don't when you marry somebody, you take on their drama? You take on like whatever's going on in their lives? And if you're really bold, you take on their debt. But like, it's not like Patrick is the one with the drinking problem and the codependency issues. Like maybe he is, but like, they need to have that conversation for 100%. All right, you guys. So that is the end of this live. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. If you would like to leave a comment down below, please do so. If you'd like to share this video on any social media platform that you wish, do it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And y'all have a very fantastic week. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. S. London. If they were women, it wouldn't be seen as unfair. Bilal is awful. I feel for Shaeeda. She needs to go back home and leave his controlling passive-aggressive ass. I agree with you. Y'all, we got a spam bot. I don't see that spam bot. Quasi, handle it. I don't see a spam bot. All right. Bye.